Hey, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you are doing well. I want to talk about Eminem and respect, jumping off of a few funny things I saw on the internet today in relation to Eminem. For one, this tweet from Mr. Ebro, radio legend, cultural commentator, respect, but still, he had this funny hot take that a lot of people on Twitter were reacting to today, saying, Eminem treats rap how black folks have had to treat life, be 5 times better, work 5 times harder than everyone, and still not necessarily get respect. I'm not necessarily going to dissect the racial quotient of this comment here, just the Eminem part, but I will do that after I also mention this. Today, on Metacritic, for at least a moment, because this has changed now. Thankfully, though, Eminem's older and more classic records are now at the number 1 and number 2 spots. But today, sitting at 9.1 above every other hip-hop album ever was Eminem's new record, Music to Be Murdered By, as if, yes, by user score, it was the greatest hip-hop record of all time, which I don't even know if the most delusional Eminem fan thinks that. You would have to think that it's better than any other album that he's ever done, and we know that that's not true. So, considering these two things, I feel like what I'm seeing here is like the result of a culture or the normalization of this idea that Eminem is disproportionately hated. He gets no respect. People are just hating on the GOAT. But honestly, the more that I see it, the more that it reads to me like some kind of victim complex that I can't really decipher. Because at the end of the day, to the extent that Eminem is disproportionately hated, is also the extent that he is disproportionately popular. Eminem still went down at the end of the 2010s as the highest selling male artist of the 2010s. The man's numbers are insane and unparalleled. You can't sit here and tell me that the dude doesn't have respect. The dude doesn't have fans. The dude has one of the most legendary producers and artists in hip hop in his corner. I guess my question is, and let's think about this honestly and objectively, is Eminem on the receiving end of something that no other artist is, to any degree, that is also at his level of popularity? Because who at Eminem's level of popularity is getting this massive amount of totally uninterrupted respect, totally unquestioned legitimacy? For one, it's not Drake. Drake gets shit on brutally across the internet. And sad to say, when Drake's career is over and done, he's going to have a lot less fucking classics than Eminem did. So let's take that into account. Kanye. Does Kanye just get totally unbroken, unwavering respect and love across the field of hip hop, no matter what he does? People hate on Lil Wayne and how he's fallen off over the years. There are lots of young kids that do not give a shit about Jay-Z. You couldn't convince them to care about a Jay-Z song. Guys, think about this. Even fucking Tupac. Man is dead. Man dropped classic records. West Coast hip hop would not be the same without him. And yet, you can find young rappers today who are just like, yeah, fuck Tupac. That dude sucks. His music was trash. His music was boring. Do not clip this out of context. That would not be very nice of you. I enjoy Tupac's music. Thank you. But even dead rappers who dropped classics cannot catch a fucking break. The only rappers who I could think of who do get at least somewhat close to that universal respect, where they're just beloved either across the industry or nobody would really go out of their way to hate on them. You know, the only rappers who I could think of who are in that lane have super tight, no flop discographies. They didn't extend their careers any longer than they needed to be. They're very low on the drama, and, you know, kind of kept their heads down, didn't stir up a whole ton of bullshit while they were doing what they were doing in the music industry. Guys like Q-Tip, guys like Andre 3000, dudes like that. When I think of them, you know, to me, ring like, oh yeah, universal acclaim. Everybody loves them. Tons of respect. And look, the bigger you are, the more exposure you get, the longer your career goes, and on top of it, the more dust you kick up, especially into other people's faces, the chances are you are going to generate some bad blood that is going to bounce back on you. Look, as much as Eminem does get hated on, it's not like the dude hasn't been fucking dishing it out for decades. As far as I'm concerned, as much as I do like a lot of Eminem's music, and I respect the guy, and I think he's put out a lot of classics over the years, the negativity that he is getting is just kind of a reflection of all the negativity that he's put out into the world over the course of his career. And honestly, look, I think Eminem isn't an idiot. He knows and understands how he conducted himself across his career. And if he saw no benefit to putting that negativity out there, I think he would have stopped a long time ago. I don't think he would continue doing it. You know, it is nice and it is refreshing to see him more open to newer voices in this next generation of rap, which he showed himself to be with some of the features on his new LP. That's cool. But again, it's not like Eminem doesn't have a history of being combative and being confrontational. And, you know, what do you expect other than for people to react in that same way when they don't like his music, they don't like what he says, they don't like what he stands for, at least in how people perceive him based on his lyrical content. So if the question at the end of the day is, does Eminem get respect? Yes, absolutely fucking yes. Eminem gets respect. Does he get respect from everyone? Well, as I just illustrated with tons of artists who are at his level of popularity and have done a lot less to piss people off than he did, no, not everyone at his level of popularity just gets universal respect. So honestly, I see it personally as silly to demand for Eminem and be angry because Eminem doesn't get what everybody else also is not fucking getting. Because Eminem has not done anything, truly and honestly, any more than Jay-Z, any more than Kanye, any more than anybody else who's at his level of popularity, to earn unquestioned respect, no criticism at all. The world treats him how he treats the world, and frankly, given his conduct and given the way he handles himself, I think he's fine with the arrangement. So I'm going to leave it at that. Does Eminem get respect? Yes, he does. Yes, he does get respect. But nobody gets respect from everybody, especially when you're at that point in your career, you're this big, and the stakes are so high. I'm sorry, but it's just true. Over here next to my head is another video that you could check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Eminem, forever.